You paid thousands for a career coach, yet you still ended up Googling how to write a resume or going to ChatGPT and saying, how do I get past this interview at 2 a.m.? If that's you, you're definitely not alone. But if it's not you, I want you to keep watching this video anyway so that you don't become that person. Because honestly, the career coaching industry currently in 2025 is nonsense. It's packed with so much more fluff than a motivational poster at your dentist's office. All right. Everyone is a transformational strategist until it's time to actually get down to brass tacks. Personally, I've seen the good, I've seen the bad, and I've seen the glorified PowerPoint lectures. And I've also paid for coaches myself, good and bad, right? So in this video, I want to break down the 3 signs that a career coach is scamming you, what real coaching actually looks like, and how to vet someone before giving them your hard-earned money so that you are making the right choice in selecting a coach that works for you. Because I do believe a good coach and a right coach will make you more than they spend 5, 10x unequivocally. All right. So I want to ask you this. Have you ever hired a coach, mentor, or guru before that completely wasted your time and burned you? Comment below. All right. So first things first, why so many coaches just feel like a scam? And it's honestly because in the career coaching line of work, a lot of people are still running on generic playbooks from back in the day. If there's anything that I've learned from being a career coach and helping hundreds of clients in the current market, and I kind of describe the current market really starting as early COVID-ish, so 2021 and later, is that being in the market with you, alongside you, as someone who is looking to be an executive one day, is easily what sets me apart the most. And people like me in this regard who are actually hands-on tactical in the job market, as opposed to, oh, well, back when I was an executive in 2015 or 2012, or when I was hiring people as an executive in, blank years ago, this is what was working. And then they just give you some generic resume templates or say, just network harder or apply more. This is one of the biggest issues that I see. So I'm not saying that you need to work with somebody that is in the job market, because it's sort of a catch-22. Like, even I hope one day that my career coaching business might be my sole source of income. I'm very, very, very far from that. But that is a potential desire. And so even then, you just need to make sure that the person you are going to hire or work with has modern results to the modern problems that you are experiencing. And they're not just banking on their strategies or their Google reviews or their testimonials from years ago in a job market and society and technology landscape that flat out doesn't apply anymore. The second reason why a lot of coaches feel like a scam: be weary of overhyped promises. And the biggest one that I see here is land your dream job in 30 days. But they do it without any actual personalization or real interaction with you. You end up getting with someone that has this promise, but yet you don't do phone calls with them. You don't do video conferences. It's purely over email. There's no real information exchange. And I will be honest, I am going to be doing a land your job challenge upcoming soon that will come with 100% money back guarantee. So it's not just that guarantee that is scammy or is to be weary of, but there's a lot of resume farms, career coach, scam artists, etc. out there where everything is done digitally without ever an actual deep interaction with you. Like I said, whether that's over a phone call or over video, preferably over video, so that, again, you're interacting with a real human being. But this is one to be weary of. The other struggle with this particular guarantee that I find is when they do a land your dream job or land your job in X amount of time without any intervention into interview style coaching. There's no way that anyone can guarantee a job without also helping you refine and uplift your interview skills. If all they did was resume and LinkedIn and they're saying you're guaranteed to get a job, that is virtually impossible and nonsense. And so I'll give you my answer to this as a career coach is I can almost never guarantee a job, but I can guarantee you interviews, right? I can't be there in the room with you. I can't answer the questions for you. But at the end of the day, if you're coming to a career coach for job search strategy advice, you're coming to them to get you in the room. And that is guaranteeable as long as they do the correct qualifications on the front end, meaning you are qualified to get that job and get that role. So be weary of extreme guarantees without some consequence to them if they actually don't fulfill it. And like I said, and also without a lack of true personalization. Third, is it's going to kind of circle back of the generic playbooks, but it's overall just, we'll say, vague execution, right? They can't actually tell you specific tactics or specific results or anything of that nature. Like, just to give you an idea, you can go to, my website, and, I have testimonials on there where people are saying, I make $17,000 more than I used to. And at the same time, I only have to commute 10 minutes now, or I achieved max pay for this particular role. These people are telling specific stories with specific results. And that is what matters, right? That there's something tangible, measurable, right? But instead, you'll see a lot of people out there who are just like, oh, we get salary increases, or oh, we get interviews, right? There's nothing specific in any of their stories or any of their results or any of their anythings. And I will be the first to tell you, when you achieve something for someone in the coaching realm, they love to shout it at the rooftops and want to share their story, because most people want everybody to succeed or want everybody to achieve their dream. And so when they find something that helped them, they absolutely want to share it with the world. So if you are interviewing a career coach or a coach or a guru of any kind, they should be able to provide you specific results. At the same time, they should not have any qualms giving you their specific process, right? So are they using templated resumes and results? Are they using AI? Are they using outdated frameworks? Like, they should be able to be willing to tell you the exact process, because here's the thing, you're going to go on that process with them. So they're going to find out anyways. So if they're being very shady about their approach and what you should expect from start to finish in working with them, huge red flag. Okay. So ultimately, this comes down to red flag. If the coach hasn't been in the real world or doesn't have modern results in 5 or more years, especially if it's been a decade or more, absolutely not. Overhyped and overpromised promises is the best way to phrase that, right? Like I said, like landing your dream job in 30 days without any personalization or interview work, etc. And just vague execution, and them kind of not actually being willing to share information with you about the expectations and about specific results. And this is going to be sort of like a bonus one, I would say, is they spend more time selling than actually working with their clients. And I will tell you firsthand, one of the biggest problems with the coaching side of the world is, once you have a decently consistent client flow, then you have to push and pull between serving your clients and selling. It's one of the reasons why I just recently, brought on my first person who only does sales, so that I can continue to serve my clients as much as possible and deal with increased demand and increased services and provide better quality results than I was when I'm sitting here having to play both roles. So someone who is just a coach that spends all their time selling you and not actually working or serving or helping clients, if you are always able to get a hold of them and they always respond in text and things, of that nature, and never once are they like, oh, sorry, I had a couple client calls, or hey, I had to help another client, let me get back to you, be a little weary. Okay. All right. Second, what good career coaching actually looks like. So we're going to invert some of the things that I just said for red flags. So if you are interviewing people out there, everything a career coach should do should be personalized. It should be one-on-one in some capacity. Now, I know coaches who have coaches who work for them. So you may not be working with the head honcho or the primary coach of that business. They might have other people who do certain things for them. That's okay. That's not a red flag. The red flag is, will you be working with the same person start to finish? Or like, I know a coach who has people who does the resume writing portion and LinkedIn writing portion, and that reserves their time to actually do the coaching for interview preparation, 30, 60, 90-day plans, leadership development, etc. Right? Because resume writing and things, those are a lot more repeatable. They're a lot more rinse and repeat and able to be done from a procedural perspective. But coaching, when you're talking about mapping goals, performing leadership development, identifying skills and up-leveling opportunities, transitioning your career into a completely different field. This stuff requires the one-on-one specific approach. It is an unscalable activity to some degree, but that is how it has to be done, and that's what makes it effective. So make sure that they should be able to completely, with clarity and transparency, answer who you will be working with, who is going to be performing each step of the way, and what modality is leveraged. And every step of the way should be personalized, one-on-one, start to finish, barring an employment change on their side, right? Like if somebody is swapped out because of actual employment things, okay, you can't help that, but that's an extreme scenario. Okay, second thing as to what good career coaching should look like is skill and opportunity alignment, right? They should be making sure that they understand what it is that you want and also what it is that you're qualified for. I have had to tell clients or even turn them away because they believe that they are qualified for something that they just aren't. And I can't stand behind telling someone, hey, I can guarantee you these results. I can guarantee you interviews in this realm when it's legitimately not possible, right? I've had to turn people away for that. So you should have coaches who can tell you hard truths, and they will do that even in the sales call before you ever even pay them a dime. Okay. So it should be a holistic opportunity alignment. And I mentioned before, I myself have hired coaches and I've hired mentors and things of that nature. And one of my like least favorite stories, least favorite experiences, I guess I should say, is I hired somebody to help me map out my IT career very early on. And I did it a lot through hard work, but this person, honestly, I can just say didn't produce the right results and weren't forward thinking enough. They came from an IT background to where they solidified what I already thought I knew, which is learn this skill set, master this skill set, and that will carry you through your career. Just stay up to date with that particular set of systems. And that bit me in the ass because I got reinforcement for my story and for my biased beliefs. And honestly, I feel like that person was just a yes person. Like they were almost just like an affirmation coach of like, yeah, rah, rah, cheerleader, not actual critical thinker being willing to tell me no in some capacity. On the flip side, I hired a coach a couple years ago that helped me identify opportunities within my own career coaching business that I did not see. This massively helped me from a strategic alignment, planning, and forward thinking perspective. And I have built so much on that foundation that has served so many more clients to such a more quality increased degree that it paid for itself in dividends unequivocally. Another thing, so modern career coaching, right, should also be very educational. They should be teaching you how to think strategically. What is critical thinking? Again, this goes back to being willing to tell you hard discussions. A lot of times this is what comes out of it is when you tell someone, hey, I think that you are not qualified because of A, B, and C, but are you open to learning that? It's one of the reasons why on my front end questionnaire, I always ask, are you open to more education? Are you open to learning things? Or do we just need to get you something that you can be qualified for right now, right this second, right? Like it's more of an emergency situation or someone who's just not willing to grow in that way. Great, right? But they should be able to help you evolve yourself across your career journey and in the modern market. So ask them what their approach is if you are not qualified or if you have goals beyond what you can do today. And the last thing that I'm going to say here as to what to look for is they should be transparent and open about the tools that they use. I mentioned before the process that you can expect start to finish, but when you're looking to select a career coach, they should also be telling you what tools they will use. Do they use AI? How do they use AI? Are they willing to provide you AI tools and custom prompts and things that you can use on your own to elevate your career? Are they willing to work with you on identifying workflow upgrades and also productivity hacks, performance upgrades, accountability systems, things of that nature, to where they are holistically coaching you? They're not just saying, well, here's your resume, cover letter, LinkedIn, and oh, well, here's, my 2 cents on interviewing. Now go, right? Like if all they're doing is just giving you information, that's not coaching, right? Think about coaching from an athletics perspective. It is taking the way your performers are right now and giving them the drills and the exercises and the feedback mechanisms to refine themselves over and over and over again over time, whether that's with time, like during interactions with the coach, or on their own outside of with the coach, right? They are helping you across a journey, and they are genuinely nudging and guiding and holding you accountable. Maybe they'll shoot you text messages. Maybe they'll give you a call. Maybe they send emails. Like, they find ways to keep the interaction with you across the board. And it's just this constant modernization of tool leverage with the ongoing support. And that is what makes modern coaching so, so effective. So if you are looking for a career coach, right, or any coach in general, I would say, but specifically career coaching is what I could speak to, make sure that what they're doing is personalized, one-on-one, start to finish. Even if you're going to have a couple handoffs throughout the interaction, that's okay. But each step along the way, you should be working with the same person start to finish. Two, they should also be able to help you identify the skills and opportunity alignment with where you are looking to go and what it is that you want. This comes with that personalization and comes with difficult conversations. And that should be willing to be had on the sales call or on the initial consultation call before you ever even pay them a dime. Three, they help you map out the education and how to think and how to be strategic. It's not just here's the things, now go, but they actually help you reframe your mind and think in a different way. And lastly, the integration of modern tools and ongoing support using AI, custom AI prompts and configurations for you, workflow upgrades, focus activities, productivity hacks, performance hacks, accountability systems, etc. Okay. That is what you're ultimately looking for. And so here's how you can frame this into questions, right? What is your framework when trying to accomplish blank? Because most coaches will have a framework. It's going to be a little bit vague. Like, for instance, for me, if I'm going to go about a career transition, right? Hey, it's going to start with a personality test. I use the Big Five personality test. I then, optional is a self-authoring program. I then will also give you a questionnaire as well. I then will use this questionnaire to have further conversations with you, as well as I will use AI to help us augment and think of things that we maybe didn't think about before. And together we can identify 3 to 5 key opportunities, discuss what those look like, then refine further from salary expectations, long-term sustainability, are they at risk from the digital transformation, etc. So it's a little bit vague, but it's also specific. Like, you know, the exact tools that you will use, in which order we will do them, how I will leverage them, and what I'm doing behind the scenes, right? They should be able to explain what their framework is. Second, ask them what their clients consistently achieve. Not what are their one-off achievements, not what has your best client achievement been. What do they consistently achieve? Okay. And this is going to be the key, especially for the goals that you have. Are you just looking to get another job? Are you looking to transition careers? Are you looking to break into leadership? Right. And a career coach or a good coach in general should say, yes, I've consistently been able to do this. Here's some, a couple recent examples, etc. Here's maybe some testimonials on my website about this particular thing, whatever it might be. I will be the first to say, I have people ask me these types of questions all the time. Do you work with people like me? Do you work in this line of work? What is your specialty in this realm? And if it's something where I've helped, dozens of people in that realm, or I've helped tens or hundreds of people achieve that goal, absolutely. But if it's more like I've only helped a couple people, I will be fully transparent about that. Hey, it is not exactly something that I consider myself to be an expert of experts in, but here's the few people I've helped, what we did, how we went about it. Again, you should expect honesty and transparency from your coach, because that is what's going to set the tone for a successful coaching experience from the beginning. So don't just ask them what they've achieved or what their clients get out of it, but what is consistently achieved. And they should be able to give you a rough numerical value of the amount of people that they have helped achieve this, or the amount of some sort of quantitative metric. So, like, one of my favorite metrics is the fact that I've cumulatively, over all the people I've helped, increased take-home pay by over $3 million annually, right? That's not something I could do like on an individual basis. Like, I have some relative individual metrics, but knowing that metric, like, that is something, again, hey, I've consistently been able to achieve salary increases, and here's what I've, made to date for my clients. So they should be able to give people results of that nature. Third, do you use AI or strategic planning or just job boards? And the AI is the bigger one here. The strategic planning is more like, do you deviate from your process is kind of what I'm thinking about is, or is it, hey, this is our fixed step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then the end. Or maybe we have to interject a step 3.5 that's not typical, but we do it, right? Are you hard set, super formulaic? That's what I mean by the strategic piece. So kind of get a gauge for how flexible they are. And I'll give you a recent example. I was having a discussion with a client on a resume, and they were transitioning careers, and the first opportunity they got in this new line of work was actually a volunteering role. So we kind of had a discussion about, well, does it make sense to maybe move the volunteering section to a higher priority on the resume, which is hyper unconventional, right? Kind of breaks the flow of things, but is it worth it? And it was weighing the pros and cons of, hey, moving the volunteering up means that this is lost from the first page. So is this volunteering experience worth this? Yes or no? And kind of went back and forth, and ultimately settled on what we believe to be the happy medium. But we also agreed, hey, let's give this a shot. And then maybe if in, 30, 40 applications, it's just not working, let's try moving it. Like what's the harm in an A/B test on a resume? Because it is an artistic science. It shouldn't be this ultra formulaic 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 step-by-step process. And then using AI. I'm sorry. If any coach out there is not using AI behind the scenes, they either A, don't deserve your dollar, or B, are flat out lying to you. And this is just something I can tell you. I was so hesitant about telling clients I use AI behind the scenes for the first few months of me doing it. I was just worried that they would think, oh, I can do it myself, or so you're just some cheap scam artist and AI is doing it all. And when I finally just said, you know what, I don't feel good or ethical like keeping this from my clients. I want them to know, because I also want to then share my AI strategy with them so that you guys know what to do. I mean, look at my video track record, right? A lot of my content recently has been about, here's my exact AI prompts and formulas, etc. I want to empower you guys. That should be a coach's job. So if they are telling you that they're not using AI, like I said, toss them to the curb, go with somebody else. Or two, they are flat out lying. Either way, toss them to the curb and go to somebody else, because you should expect your coaches in this day and age to be using AI for themselves. Almost every line of work is using AI in some capacity. Why are coaches going to be any different? And at the same time, they should be answering this question, yes. And then you should be able to follow up and say, are you willing to share what you are doing so that I can continue to do that after our work together? And that question should always be yes. If they try to give you some proprietary intellectual property nonsense, but no, they should be willing to share and empower it with you. I'm a firm believer that any coach that you hire, should their goal or their measure of success is not just did they achieve the result, but they should be mentoring you to achieve what they have achieved faster, stronger, and more reliably than they did. That is their metric of success. Okay, next question that you should ask is, what happens like if I don't land the job, or if I don't achieve blank right away? What happens? What is our repercussion? What is our course of action? How does it go from there? And they should be willing to work with you until you achieve the result. Plain and simple, right? They should stand behind their work to that level of degree. It's like I said earlier, it is impossible pretty much for me to guarantee someone's job, but I can guarantee interviews. And if I didn't do that when that was our goal, end of story. I work with you till we get that result. Again, I also do my due diligence on the front end to qualify people and weed them out to make sure what we're trying to do is realistic. Again, if you're 23 years old, fresh out of college, and you're like, I want to be a C blank, like a C-suite, well, you're going to take about 10 years or so, and that's being aggressive, right? That's the type of thing, is they should work with you until blank result is achieved. Most commonly landing a job or getting a promotion, breaking into leadership, something of that nature. If they don't, they didn't do it, right? That is the job of a coach, is to get you there. If they don't get you there, end of story, cut ties, go somewhere else. And then what happens after we achieve the result? This is something most people forget significantly, right? And this is where it might just be a congratulations, right? But it also might be, well, here's something we can do. Here's what my recommendation would be to help really solidify this success and set you up for the next thing, right? It just really depends on what the goal achievement is, but knowing what is possible after, if they can help you further, if it's, I'll be the first one. I tell people a lot of times, like, hey, if we get this new role, go ahead, get ingrained for about 6 months. Unless you want me to help you with that first 90-day plan, get 6 months in, get comfortable, learn the lay of the land. Then let's spend an hour or two coaching, at that 6-month mark, identifying what a strategic roadmap to get you to the next level will be, or to get you to be a higher performer in that role, right? There's a lot of different options depending on what it is. So again, make sure you're asking, what is your framework? How do you approach? How formulaic are you in getting the results? What do your clients consistently achieve? Do you use AI or strategic planning to achieve the goal that you're working with your clients on? What happens if I don't achieve blank right away? And 5, what happens after I achieve blank, right? Any coach worth their salt should be willing to answer all of these questions for you without flinching, unequivocally. So, while the title of this video is around career coaching being a scam, can it be? Yes. Bad coaching is a scam. Coaching itself is not. Just like anything else, do your vetting on the front end. The amount of people that I have ended up not working with, but I've helped them select the right coach, I can't even count. Like because to me, a coach gets into this line of work of whatever coaching it is to help people, even if that's not with them directly. And so I offer up to every person I work with, hey, even if you and I don't work together, let me know if you're unsure how to shop around, how to vet other coaches. And that was what made me make this video. I said, hopefully this helps some of you figure out who it is you want to work with, because I don't care if you hire me as a career coach or you hire other people in my network as a career coach or executive coach or whatever it is. What I care about, and what any coach should care about, is helping you get to where you want to go with or without working with them, with themselves. Okay, so coaching is not a scam. I have hired coaches successfully. I have hired coaches unsuccessfully. I have been a coach successfully, and I've been a coach unsuccessfully, because I know both sides of these equations consistently, right? Like, again, I want to help you learn from my mistakes. And like I said, there's a reason why I have a 97% goal achievement rate. It's not 100 for a reason. There are situations where I just couldn't come through. Any coach who tells you otherwise, flat out lying to you. No one has a 100% success rate in anything in their life. I promise you. And they should be willing to be open about that. In the right hands, the coach that you hire will be a multiplier. Case in point, right? My most popular package is $700 for resume, cover letter, LinkedIn, and interview preparation and compensation negotiation. You want to know the average salary that comes out of that as an increase? $8,000. That is a 10x multiplier on average. Does that mean some people get less? Yes. Does that mean some people get more? Yes. Crazy thing is, I have never had a client come back to me and say they couldn't negotiate more than they paid me to begin with. Never. Not once. That is a metric of also a good coach. They should always give you faster growth, better pay, real confidence. They should multiply you over and over and over again. So if you like this video, if you have any comments, you want me to clarify anything, or if you're in discussions with another coach and want advice on things to ask, or maybe where to dive deeper with them, leave a comment down below. I would love to help you get to where you want to go, even if it's with someone else. Join my school community for additional free advice, free AI strategies, prompts, mindset frameworks, accountability systems, etc. Join school down below. Hit the thumbs up, hit the like button, subscribe, notification bell. I appreciate you. Until next time, thank you.